My name is Nicole Hayes, and this is my story about how I discovered my marriage counselor had been sleeping with my husband for 6 months while charging me $200 per session to help us work through our intimacy issues. Trust is the foundation of any successful marriage, Dr. Sarah Mitchell said, sitting across from me and my husband Ryan in her elegant office, her voice calm and professional. Nicole, you mentioned feeling disconnected from Ryan. Can you tell me more about that? I took a breath, trying to articulate the loneliness I'd been feeling for months. It's like he's physically present, but emotionally gone. He works late constantly. When he is home, he's on his phone. We haven't been intimate in months. I feel like I'm living with a stranger. Dr. Mitchell nodded sympathetically, taking notes on her tablet. And Ryan, how do you respond to Nicole's feelings? Ryan shifted uncomfortably on the couch. I don't mean to be distant. Work is just intense right now. I'm trying my best. Trying your best, Dr. Mitchell repeated, her tone gentle but probing. Nicole, do you feel Ryan is trying his best? I wanted to say yes, wanted to believe we could fix this. But honestly, no. I feel like I'm the only one fighting for this marriage. Dr. Mitchell gave me a look of such understanding, such compassion, that I almost cried right there. That's a painful place to be. But I want you to know, there's hope. Many couples feel this way before they break through to deeper connection. The fact that you're both here is a good sign. We'd been seeing Dr. Mitchell for 6 months, every Wednesday at 6 p.m. 60-minute sessions where I poured out my fears and frustrations while Ryan sat mostly silent and Dr. Mitchell guided us through communication exercises and trust-building activities. Last week, I left my phone at her office after our session, drove all the way home before realizing it, called Dr. Mitchell's emergency line. She'd given it to us for crisis moments. "Oh, Nicole, yes, I have your phone," she said when she answered. "I'm actually still at the office. Can you come back now? Or should I hold it until next Wednesday?" "I'll come now if that's okay. I need it for work tomorrow." "Of course. I'll be here for another hour." I drove back, arrived at her building 30 minutes later. The front door was locked. It was after 8 p.m. But Dr. Mitchell had left it unlatched for me. I took the elevator to the 3rd floor, walked down the quiet hallway to her office. The door was slightly open. I could hear voices inside. Her voice. And Ryan's. "We can't keep doing this," Ryan was saying. "Nicole almost caught me last week when I said I was at the gym." She's getting suspicious. "Then we need to be more careful," Dr. Mitchell responded. "Or we need to make a decision. Ryan, you can't keep straddling 2 lives." "I know. I don't want to hurt her." "You're already hurting her by staying in a marriage you've checked out of. Sometimes the kindest thing is honesty." I stood frozen in the hallway, phone forgotten, listening to my marriage counselor and my husband discuss their affair in the office where I'd been paying $200 per session to save my marriage. I couldn't move, couldn't breathe. Just stood there in the hallway, one hand on the doorframe, listening to them destroy me. "How long do we wait?" Dr. Mitchell asked. "Another month? 6 months?" Nicole deserves better than this limbo. I know she does. But if I leave now, she'll be devastated. The timing is terrible. The timing will never be perfect, Ryan. And the longer you wait, the worse it gets. She's already feeling disconnected. She told us that today. She knows something's wrong. Us. She said us, like they were a team. Like I was the problem they were managing together. "What do you think I should do?" Ryan asked. There was a pause. Then Dr. Mitchell's voice, softer. I think you know what you should do. I think you've known for months. You're just scared to do it. I am scared. Nicole and I have been together for 8 years. That's not easy to walk away from. But you already have walked away. Emotionally. You've been gone for 6 months. You're just leaving your body in the house. 6 months. The affair had been going on for 6 months. The same 6 months I'd been coming to therapy, trying desperately to fix what I thought was broken. Paying a woman to help me save my marriage while she was actively destroying it. When did this even start? Ryan asked. How did we get here? Does it matter? We're here now, and we have to decide what we're going to do about it. Another pause. Then the sound of movement. Footsteps. I realized they were coming toward the door. I backed away quickly, quietly, ducked into the stairwell across the hall, peeked through the small window. Watched Ryan and Dr. Mitchell emerge from her office. She was straightening her blouse. He was tucking in his shirt. They'd been doing more than talking. They kissed in the hallway. Not a quick peck. A real kiss. Intimate. Familiar. I'll see you Friday, Dr. Mitchell said. My place? Your place, Ryan confirmed. I'll tell Nicole I have a work dinner. Be careful. We're so close to getting what we want. What they wanted. Which was my husband. My marriage. My life. They walked to the elevator together. I stayed hidden in the stairwell until I heard the elevator doors close. Then I walked back to Dr. Mitchell's office. The door was still unlocked. I went inside. Straight to her desk. Her tablet was there, the one she took notes on during our sessions. Still unlocked. I opened her files, found the folder labeled Hayes, Nicole, and Ryan, started reading her session notes. Session 1, 3 months ago. Initial consultation. Nicole presents as anxious, clingy, desperate to fix marriage. Ryan presents as checked out, defensive. Nicole doing 90% of emotional labor. Ryan clearly wants out, but too conflict-averse to initiate divorce. Strategy, slow dissolution. Make Nicole feel heard while gradually helping Ryan build confidence to leave. Session 2. Nicole still desperately trying to fix things. Ryan more comfortable in sessions now. We're building good rapport. He stayed after session to discuss work stress, really discussing his feelings about the marriage. He's definitely attracted to me. Strong eye contact, body language open. Opportunity here. Session 3. Progressing well. Nicole opened up about intimacy issues, says Ryan hasn't touched her in months. Ryan confirmed, discussed with him after session. He admitted he's no longer physically attracted to Nicole. I suggested that's normal. Marriages evolve. We had coffee after. He's definitely interested. Session 4. First kiss happened after session. Ryan stayed late again. Nicole had already left. He was vulnerable, emotional. I initiated. He responded enthusiastically. This complicates the professional relationship, but the chemistry is undeniable. Need to be careful about boundaries, but also, life is short. I felt sick reading it, but I kept going. Session 7. Slept with Ryan for the first time. His place while Nicole was at her mother's. He's very conflicted, but also very attracted. Says he feels guilty, but can't stop thinking about me. I reassured him that his marriage was already over, emotionally. I'm just helping him accept what he already knows. Session 10. Nicole is getting more desperate, can see her anxiety increasing. She knows something's wrong but can't identify what. Ryan is pulling away more, obviously. Good. The faster this marriage ends, the faster Ryan and I can be together properly. Need to guide Nicole toward acceptance of the end without revealing my role. Session 15. Nicole mentioned she feels like Ryan is having an affair. I denied that possibility, said her anxiety is creating paranoid thoughts, suggested she needs individual therapy for her trust issues. Ryan laughed about it after session. We're being careful, but she's perceptive. Need to move faster. Session 18. Nicole brought up divorce today, asked if Ryan wanted one. He deflected. I could see her hope. She thinks if he's not asking for divorce, there's still a chance. I'm encouraging Ryan to make a decision soon. This limbo is unsustainable. Also, I want him. Session 22. Today's session. Nicole is breaking. Can see it in her body language, her desperation. She's losing weight, looks tired, clearly not sleeping. Part of me feels guilty. Part of me thinks she'll be fine. Women are resilient. She'll recover. Ryan and I will be happy. Everything works out in the end. I finished reading and felt absolutely nothing. Not anger, not sadness, just cold, crystalline clarity. This woman, this licensed therapist who I'd trusted with my deepest vulnerabilities, had systematically manipulated my marriage, seduced my husband, and documented the entire thing like it was a research project. I took photos of every single session note, every incriminating detail. Then I searched her desk, found her appointment calendar. Ryan's name appeared repeatedly outside our Wednesday sessions. Ryan H. Impersonal on Fridays, RH Coffee on Sunday mornings, dinner, R on Tuesday evenings. They'd been seeing each other 2 or 3 times a week for months. While I sat at home wondering why my husband was so distant, while I blamed myself for not being attractive enough, interesting enough, I photographed the calendar too. Then I left. Took the stairs down, walked to my car, drove home, where Ryan was probably already in bed, pretending to be asleep when I got there like he'd been doing for months. But I wasn't going home to confront him. Not yet. I was going home to plan. Because Dr. Mitchell had been wrong about one thing. I wasn't going to be fine. I wasn't going to just recover and move on. I was going to destroy both of them. The next morning, I called in sick to work. Told Ryan I had a stomach bug and was staying home. He seemed relieved to leave me there. Feel better. I'll check on you later. He wouldn't. He'd be too busy with Dr. Mitchell. After he left, I made phone calls. First, the State Licensing Board for Therapists. I need to file a complaint against a licensed therapist for sexual misconduct with a client. I'll transfer you to our ethics division. I spent an hour on the phone with an investigator explaining the situation. Dr. Sarah Mitchell, license number, I'd photographed it from her wall, had engaged in a sexual relationship with my husband while treating us as a couple. Do you have evidence? The investigator asked. Session notes documenting the entire affair. In her own handwriting, photos of everything. Send them to this email address. We'll open an investigation immediately. This is serious misconduct. Second call, a divorce attorney. I need to file for divorce, and I need to do it in a way that exposes what my husband and our marriage counselor did. The attorney, a woman named Rebecca Park, listened to the whole story. This is one of the most egregious cases I've heard, she said. A therapist sleeping with a client is grounds for losing her license. Documenting it in session notes is beyond stupid. What can we do? Divorce-wise, you're entitled to file based on adultery. The affair with the therapist makes it particularly ugly. We can request all of her professional notes as evidence, which will expose everything. I want them both to suffer. Then we make this as public as legally possible. File in court, request all records, make sure the licensing board investigation is referenced in the divorce filing. By the time we're done, everyone will know what they did. Third call, my best friend Melissa. I need you to come over, and I need you to not tell me I'm crazy for what I'm about to do. What are you going to do? Burn down my marriage and take 2 people with me. I'll be there in 20 minutes. Melissa arrived with coffee and sympathy. I showed her everything: the session notes, the calendar, the photos. "Oh my God," she kept saying. "Oh my God, Nicole." I trusted her. I paid her $200 an hour to help me save my marriage while she was fucking my husband and documenting it like a science experiment. What are you going to do? File for divorce. Report her to the licensing board. Make sure everyone knows what they did. That's going to get messy. Good. They deserve messy. What about Ryan? Are you going to confront him? Eventually, but not until everything else is in motion. I want him to be blindsided the way I was. Melissa looked at me carefully. You're different. Since yesterday. You're cold. I'm clear. For 6 months, I've been confused and desperate and blaming myself. Now I know the truth, and I'm not confused anymore. What do you need from me? Help me document everything. Help me make sure I don't miss anything. And help me stay strong when I start feeling guilty for destroying them. You're not destroying them. They destroyed themselves. You're just making sure everyone knows about it. Over the next 3 days, we built an airtight case. I hired a private investigator who confirmed Ryan and Dr. Mitchell were meeting regularly. Got photos of them together at restaurants, at her apartment, kissing in parking garages. I downloaded 6 months of our credit card statements. Found charges at hotels I'd never been to. Restaurants in neighborhoods I'd never visited. Gifts I'd never received. I checked Ryan's location history on our shared phone plan. Found he'd been at Dr. Mitchell's address dozens of times when he'd told me he was working late or at the gym. Every lie, every deception. All documented. Rebecca filed for divorce on Monday morning. The petition included request for dissolution of marriage based on adultery, detailed timeline of the affair with Dr. Mitchell, copies of Dr. Mitchell's session notes as evidence, request for all marital assets based on Ryan's misuse of joint funds for the affair, request that Dr. Mitchell be deposed as part of the proceedings Ryan was served at work at 2 p.m. He called me immediately, voice shaking. "Nicole, what the fuck is this?" "Divorce papers. You should read them." "You can't be serious." "I'm completely serious. You've been sleeping with our marriage counselor for 6 months. I have proof. Photos. Her session notes, where she documented the entire affair. Everything." Silence. Then, "How did you—" "I came back for my phone last week. Heard you two in her office, discussing me like I was a problem to manage. Then I read her notes. All of them." "Nicole, please, let me explain." "Explain what?" "How you and Dr. Mitchell systematically manipulated me while I paid her to help save our marriage? How you let me blame myself for our problems while you were fucking my therapist? Which part should you explain? I never meant to hurt you. You meant exactly this. You were just hoping I'd never find out. Well, I found out. And now everyone's going to find out. What does that mean? It means I've filed complaints with the state licensing board. It means Dr. Mitchell is under investigation for sexual misconduct with a client. It means the divorce filing includes all of her session notes as evidence, which will become public record. It means everyone in your life and hers is going to know exactly what you did. You're destroying her career. She destroyed it herself when she decided to sleep with a client and document it in writing. I'm just making sure the appropriate authorities know about it. Please, Nicole, don't do this. We can work this out. Work what out? You don't want me. You want her. So go be with her. But you're not going to get to do it quietly while I pretend I don't know. You're going to do it publicly, with everyone knowing you cheated on your wife with her therapist." I hung up. He called back 17 times. I blocked his number. Dr. Mitchell called from her office line. I let it go to voicemail. "Nicole, this is Dr. Mitchell. I understand you're upset, but filing complaints against me is inappropriate and vindictive. We should talk about this like adults. Please call me back." Like adults. Like I was the one being unreasonable. I deleted the voicemail without responding. The state licensing board moved fast. Within a week, they'd opened a formal investigation, contacted Dr. Mitchell, requested all files related to my case. Dr. Mitchell hired a lawyer, tried to argue that her notes were protected by therapist-client privilege. The board disagreed. When a therapist engages in sexual misconduct with a client, privilege is voided. They got access to everything. The investigation findings were damning. Not just what she'd done with Ryan, but the intentional manipulation of the therapeutic relationship for personal gain. She was suspended from practice, pending a full ethics hearing. Her lawyer tried to negotiate, offered to surrender her license voluntarily in exchange for keeping the details private. The board refused, made the investigation public, published the findings on their website. Dr. Sarah Mitchell, license 947-832, is suspended from practice for engaging in sexual relationship with client's spouse during couples therapy. Full ethics hearing scheduled for... The story spread fast. Local news picked it up. "Therapist suspended for affair with client's husband" became a headline. Dr. Mitchell's practice collapsed. Her other clients left. Her professional reputation destroyed. She tried to blame me, posted something on social media about vindictive ex-clients and privacy violations. It was deleted within hours, probably by her lawyer, but people had screenshot it. The internet doesn't forget. Meanwhile, Ryan was served with discovery requests for the divorce. Had to provide documentation of everywhere he'd been, everyone he'd communicated with, every dollar he'd spent for the past 6 months. His affair laid out in spreadsheets and timelines and credit card statements. His parents called me. "Nicole, we're so sorry. We had no idea." "I didn't either," I said. "Not until I found them together." "What can we do?" "Nothing. This is between me and Ryan now." His mother started crying. "He's thrown away a wonderful woman for his therapist." "Yes." His father. "You deserve so much better." "I know." The divorce moved forward. Ryan tried to negotiate, wanted to settle quietly, avoid the public airing of everything. Rebecca shut that down. "Your client had an affair with the therapist treating him and his wife. He used marital funds to finance that affair. He manipulated his wife for months while pretending to work on the marriage. He doesn't get to settle quietly." Final judgment came down after 4 months. Marriage dissolved based on adultery. I got the house, valued at $480,000. I got 70% of marital assets, compensating for money Ryan spent on the affair. Ryan had to pay my legal fees, $34,000. Ryan had to pay for all the therapy sessions, $9,600, 48 sessions at $200 each. Total, I got approximately $380,000 more than a standard 50-50 split would have given me. Dr. Mitchell's license was permanently revoked after the ethics hearing. She can never practice therapy again in any state. She tried to sue me for defamation. Her lawsuit was dismissed immediately. Truth is an absolute defense, and everything I'd said was documented fact. She and Ryan stayed together for about 6 months after everything settled, then broke up. Turns out, a relationship built on deception and betrayal isn't actually a solid foundation. Who knew? It's been 2 years since I walked into Dr. Mitchell's office and overheard everything. I'm 34 now. living alone in the house Ryan and I bought together. It's strange sometimes, being here without him, but also peaceful. I went to real therapy, with a therapist who didn't sleep with clients, worked through the betrayal, the self-blame, the trust issues. You did nothing wrong, my new therapist told me over and over. They manipulated you systematically. That's not a reflection of your worth. It's a reflection of their character. Slowly, I started believing it. I started dating again about a year ago. Carefully, with firm boundaries, with background checks and references and a healthy dose of skepticism. Met someone 3 months ago. His name is David. He's an engineer. Kind, honest, transparent about everything. When I told him my story on our third date, expecting him to run, he just said, "That's horrible. I'm sorry that happened to you." Most people think I went too far, that destroying her career and making everything public was vindictive. Most people weren't systematically manipulated by a professional they trusted. You did what you needed to do to get justice. It feels good that someone understands. I understand self-preservation. You fought back. That's not vindictive. That's survival. Last week, I ran into Dr. Mitchell at a coffee shop. First time I'd seen her in person since everything happened. She looked older, tired. She saw me, froze, then tried to leave quickly. "Sarah?" I called out. She stopped, turned around slowly. "I just want you to know something," I said. "I don't regret any of it. Reporting you, the divorce, making it all public, none of it. You destroyed my career," she said quietly. "No. You destroyed your career when you decided to sleep with a client and document it in session notes. I just made sure the people who regulate therapists knew about it. I lost everything. So did I. I lost my marriage, my trust, my sense of reality. 8 years of my life invested in someone who was betraying me with the help of the person I paid to fix it. The difference is, you chose to lose everything. I didn't choose what you did to me." She didn't respond. Just walked out. I stayed, ordered my coffee, sat in the sunshine. Felt nothing. No anger. No satisfaction. Just peace. Because here's what I learned. Some people will betray you in ways you can't imagine. They'll use your vulnerabilities against you. They'll manipulate your pain for their gain. And when that happens, you have choices. You can accept it quietly, or you can fight back. I fought back. Made sure they faced consequences. Made sure everyone knew what they'd done. Some people call that revenge. I call it justice. And I'd do it again. If this story resonated with you, drop a comment about where you're watching from. And if you've ever been betrayed by someone you paid to help you, you're not alone. Subscribe for more stories. Because sometimes the people you trust to heal you are the ones breaking you. And sometimes the bravest thing you can do is make sure they can't do it to anyone else.